Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm so excited because I read two popular fantasy romances that are popular at the moment. Both of these series were some of my most anticipated reads, and I went through so many emotions. Like, I was angry one second, I was crying the next. Like, I cried so much while I was reading both of these series, and I was giggling and happy the next second. I was shocked. My hands were sweating while I was reading. Like, I just went through so many emotions, like a roller coaster, and I'm so glad I got them on video. So here are just some of the main emotions that I went through, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's just get on into it. So I actually filmed this video over like the past couple weeks-ish. I don't really remember when I started this, but this video is going to be me reading the most popular fantasy series and seeing if they're worth the hype. So when I think of like popular fantasy series, I'm thinking of Fourth Wing, Once Upon a Broken Heart, Shatter Me, Throne of Glass, Kingdom of the Wicked. Like, that's what I think of when I think of the most popular and hyped up fantasy series at the moment. I did not read all of these in this video because that would take me a really long time. So I did not read these three series in this video. Eventually I will get to them and I will probably vlog it. In this video I did not record me reading Fourth Wing, but I did record myself reading Iron Flame. And I don't think I gave my ratings for any of these books either, so I'll go through that at the end of the video. And then I also read the entire Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I read this one in the physical copy, and then I read the rest on my Kindle because I don't have the physical copy. But that's what this video is going to be about. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to tell you if they are worth it at the end of the video and give my ratings. So please give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to watch me read these books and see what my thoughts and ratings are. And I will talk to you guys in a few seconds. So I finished Fourth Wing a few days ago, and I'm gonna say I absolutely loved it. I have not felt this way about a book since probably reading ACOTAR or Caraval. Like, this is probably one of my top fantasy reads, and I was a little nervous going into it because it is so popular and it was really overhyped when it first came out, but it's really good. So if you have not read it, I definitely 100% recommend it. It's so good. The main characters are just like, I just love it so much. I am gonna say I'm super glad that I waited until I had Iron Flame, because after the ending I was like I immediately grabbed Iron Flame because there's no way I could have waited any longer to not start this book. But I think I'm like halfway through Iron Flame. I'm reading on my Kindle. It's a little bit slower than Fourth Wing so far, but it's still really good, and it's definitely picking up momentum now. So I feel like the last half is going to be really entertaining and crazy. I'm glad that we're still getting to see a lot of the same characters that we saw in Fourth Wing, because I really do love the characters. There's one character in here that I'm just like, ugh. Every time they come into the story, I'm just like, I don't like you. Like, you just are so rude. The main male character, which I'm sure you guys have seen like some things about him, he gives me Reason vibes 100% from ACOTAR, and I don't know if I had to pick between the two. I don't even know how I would choose. Like, I feel like I need to see more of Xaden to compare him like 100% to Reason, but I don't know. I love them both. Both of these books so far, I'm absolutely loving them, and I can't wait to get to the end of this book and read the last half. I'm a little nervous too, I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know. I don't want it to end like the first one did, because I'm gonna be really sad if I have to wait who knows how long. Like, probably another year or something. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about these books because I know a lot of people haven't read it because Iron Flame just came out like a month ago, I think. So this is still fairly new. And since it's so popular, I don't want to spoil anything. But all I'm going to say is go read it if you haven't because it's so good. I have a little update. So I have, I think, a little over 200 pages left in Iron Flame, and I'm scared. I have been seeing a lot of like reels on Instagram and different posts, and a lot of people are talking about like their reactions to the end of Iron Flame, and it doesn't look good. So I'm worried that something's gonna happen, and then we have to wait for the next book, which who knows when that's coming out. I know it's coming out sometime in 2024, but I feel like it's gonna be a while, like almost a year or something. I don't know. I just have to push through and finish it, even though I'm probably not gonna like how it ends. So that's my update. I think I'm like, so I'm 70, almost 75% through, so I'm scared. But I definitely want to record my reactions because I feel like I'm gonna be surprised with a lot of what happens, because that's just what I've seen on Instagram. I'll talk to you guys probably after I finish this and when I pick out my next book. 97%. And it's so crazy. My hands are like sweating. I'm sweating. I'm nervous to finish it. It says I have 23 minutes left in the book. So, wish me luck. Book that I picked up is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This is the first book in the series, but I started this a few days ago and I'm actually pretty far. I think I have like 120 pages left, 130 maybe. So I want to finish this today. So far I really am enjoying it. I love Stephanie Garber's books. Every book in the Caraval series I gave 5 stars. That's how much I loved it. So I feel like every book that she writes I'm gonna really enjoy. This one, we're just getting introduced into the world again, and I know you don't have to read Caraval before this, but it definitely helps because we see some of the same characters and it's in the same universe and world, so it makes sense to read that first. I'm excited to see how this ends, and I feel like I'm going to have to pick up the second one, which is The Ballad of Never After. If you haven't read this, or Caraval, I definitely recommend to read Caraval first. But that's my update. Still love Jax. He's like one of my favorite characters that she wrote. So I'm just gonna keep reading. Hopefully I'll finish this today. last night I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart. As you can see by all the tabs in here, I absolutely loved it. It wasn't as interesting as I was hoping. Like, there wasn't too much really going on in the story, but I feel like the second and third one might get a little bit more interesting, and that's what I like about her books, because the first one always gets you into the story, and then the second and third one, they're just so much better. I really did enjoy it. I love all of her books. I love all of her characters. It was so nice being back into this universe and seeing characters from Carvel. So it's nice to see Jax and Donatella and Scarlet again, and it's kind of interesting because they're in like the same universe, but they're in a different part of, like, they're in like the north, so it's a little bit different. But her books are just so magical and they're fun to read. But they have like little news articles and letters in here, and I just think that's such a fun touch to add. And I immediately bought The Ballad of Never After on my Kindle. Tonight I'm definitely gonna start that. It's already like, I think 3 p.m, so I'm not gonna read until tonight. I think I finished this in like 2.5, 3 days, so hopefully I can do the same with The Ballad of Never After since it's on my Kindle. It might take less time, I don't know, we'll see. Update. I don't remember when I talked to the camera last. I don't remember, but I did start A Curse for True Love. I'm at 25%. I'm not even like 100 pages in. It says I have like 4 hours left to finish it on my Kindle, so I'm gonna try and finish it tonight. We're just gonna keep reading. So far I like it, but I don't like it as much as The Ballad of Never After, but it's definitely keeping my interest. Something crazy happened at the end of A Ballad of Never After, so that's kind of carrying into this story, and we haven't seen much of Jax yet, so I'm hoping that we'll get to see him soon. and that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to go through my ratings. I didn't read Fourth Wing in this video, but I'm still going to give my ratings. So Fourth Wing, I gave a 5 stars. I loved it. I love the characters, the story. It did take me a little bit to get through it, but I absolutely love the story and the characters. Like, the 2 main characters are some of my favorites in fantasy series. So I definitely do think that this book deserves the hype. And then immediately I jumped into Iron Flame. Iron Flame is tough for me. I gave it 4 stars. The ending was absolutely brutal to read. I remember just reading it, and like after I finished it, I just sat there like, what am I supposed to do now? But regardless, it's still a really good book, and I really enjoyed seeing the character development from the first one. I'm really glad that I waited to read Fourth Wing until I had this book, because if I read it and didn't have Iron Flame to jump into, I would have been very upset with how it ended. But this book ends way worse, so be prepared for that, because we still have like almost a year until the 3rd one comes out apparently. But I did really enjoy the series. I think that the series as a whole is definitely worth the hype, but Fourth Wing was just way better in my opinion. And then the next book I read in this video was Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This book, this series, the characters, I just absolutely loved it. Like, Stephanie Garber is one of my favorite authors. I've read every single book that she has written, and majority of them have been 5 stars. This one I gave 4 stars. I just feel like after reading Caraval, I was just waiting for Jax's story. And right after that, I went into The Ballad Never After on my Kindle. This one was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. This is one of my favorite books that Stephanie has written. I just loved getting more of Jax's backstory, because we see him in Caraval, but he's portrayed as like the villain, and you don't really like him as much, even though I loved him in that book, in that series too. But I just love seeing like his backstory and where he came from, and seeing him, you know, start to care for someone. It was just such a good story. And then after that, I went into and read A Curse for True Love, and I finished it last night. That one was a little bit disappointing. The ending, I feel like it could have been a little bit longer. Like, it felt rushed to me. So I gave it 4 stars, but it did just feel really rushed. Like, once we get to the certain point that we were all waiting for, I feel like it just ended. Like, there's so many unanswered questions that I have, especially about Jax, that I feel like we didn't get answered, and it was brought up a decent amount through the story. I'm not going to say what it was, because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read it, but yeah, I hope that she does come out with another series that's about certain, or like other characters that were in the series, because then we could see Jax and Evangeline in it, and that would be amazing. But I don't know if she's gonna do that. Those are all the books that I read in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.